So what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I saw a comment on a video I did a few months back on a Nissan Titan. I put in the thumbnail, don't try this at home. It's pretty controversial and I wanted to respond because I want to help the guy out. Maybe he doesn't understand the numbers. So let's help him out here. Now, one thing I'll tell you is this. I'm not going to single out Grand Design because all the RV manufacturers are doing this. They put out here, you can tow a fifth wheel with a half-ton truck. Dry weight starting under 7,000 pounds. That's already misleading. Starting under. Hitch weights start at 1,200 pounds. Today we're gonna talk about this today. Now, one thing I want to tell you is the reason why I use my fifth wheel is really because I want to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's kind of fun for me, but my trailer weighs about 11.5 the way it sits. It actually does kind of stay within the towing capacity. But one thing I will tell you is you can't really look at towing capacity until you look at the payload. Now, from the factory, it says that a Titan XD 4x4 Cummins is going to have a 2,000 pound payload. So let's do some numbers. I started a series called Weight Watchers. I might have to change the name to Truck Editions. We're going to do what that guy said. He says you shouldn't use a trailer the size of mine, and fifth wheels come in different shapes and sizes and stuff like that, whatever he said. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the smallest fifth wheel that Grand Design actually makes. And luckily for you, I actually did a review on this exact trailer. So that trailer had an unloaded vehicle weight of 6,888 pounds, hitch weights at 1195. Now you see these little ones here, it says based on average weight. Now this makes no sense to me. I don't know what that means. It just says based on average weight. Average weight of what? So let's do something real quickly. Now, I use a spreadsheet to do my numbers. So here's what we're going to do. The unloaded vehicle weight of the trailer that I did a review on because I did the numbers for it. This is what the trailer actually weighed. It weighed 7,264 pounds. That's what it actually weighed when it got to the dealership. When it was delivered from the factory, it was already higher. Now that's obviously because there's some options and features on this trailer, right? Now, we're going to just use this dry hitch weight because maybe, just maybe, the Titan might be able to tow this trailer and stay within its limits. I kind of know the outcome of how this video is going to go, so just stick with me here. The truck that I did a review on had a payload capacity of 1,543 pounds. In order to get a curb weight for a truck, you have to take the GVWR, subtract it from the payload. So let's do that now. It's going to give you 7,447 pounds. Now, one thing you can never forget about is this. You have to add passengers and cargo to your truck. So let's do this. Let's use a 200 pound guy plus a wife that may weigh 130 pounds. And let's just say you have two small kids that in total weigh 80 pounds. That's going to be 410 pounds. I just want you guys to see where I'm getting these numbers from. Now, obviously, you got to put a hitch in the back of the truck. And you gotta have some gear, so you might add some stuff to the truck. Maybe you might add some aftermarket things to the truck. So here we go. Already out of the gate, you're at 212 pounds over your payload capacity. But wait, we are using a dry hitch weight. This number is not gonna be what it's gonna be when it gets to the dealership, obviously, because look, the unloaded vehicle weight when it got to the dealership was 7,264 pounds. And you can't use this number, so you have to add some weight. So we're going to add 800 pounds. That's not a lot. It's still a very lightweight fifth wheel. So let's just take 8,064 pounds and multiply that by 20%. That's going to give you 1,613 pounds. So what you have to understand is this. No matter what you say or do, you have to follow the payload capacity. The manufacturer says to you, you should not exceed this number. It says that on the door sticker. If you don't believe me, go look at it. Look at the yellow sticker on the door, and it states it should never exceed the GVWR of this truck. You're on a 8,000 pound trailer. What I strongly recommend you do is you take this number and multiply it by 20%, and you start looking for trucks from there. Weigh yourself, weigh your kids, weigh your family, and then get the numbers that way. And keep in mind, you might be heavier. Your wife might be heavier than 130 pounds. I mean, we do live in America, for God's sake. So you have to do this math. You have to understand these numbers. That's why I said you should not tow a fifth wheel with the Nissan Titan, but in reality, with any half-ton truck, it's just hard to stay within the limits of these trucks because they're so heavy. And it's really because of this number here. The GVWRs on these trucks are just too low. I wish that they would raise it. If this was 9,990 pounds, we wouldn't be having this discussion. But the fact is, it's not. So do your research, understand these numbers, and before you comment, make sure you understand every aspect of it. I'm going to make mistakes sometimes too. That's why I don't get mad when I read comments. I get it. Most guys don't understand this stuff because most guys are talking about towing capacity, but you can't look at towing capacity alone. If you take out your passengers and put this down to 1 pound, you're still over your payload capacity. So if you're going through a CAT scale or going through a scale, they're going to see that you're over on the gross vehicle weight rating. You could get cited for that. If you get into an accident, and even if you're not at fault, they could use you as an example to say, hey, he might have caused it because he was over the limits of his GVWR. I'm not saying that would happen, but I'm saying is it's a possibility. These numbers were set to, make sure that people stay within limits. So the limitation of this truck show that you really don't have the capacity to tow a fifth wheel, even at 8,000 pounds. If I were to use this number here and use 1899, which is 20% of this number, I believe, and I put back 410 pounds for passengers, you're almost 1,000 pounds over. So again, do the math, understand these numbers. It's better to have more truck than you need than not to have enough truck in this instance here. Thank you for watching the video.